This little chrome-plated menorah came out of a storage unit, and at first glance it looks simple. 9 candle cups, a shiny round base, and a Star of David right in the center. But that simple shape is doing a lot of historical work. A Hanukkah menorah is not the same thing as the 7-branch menorah associated with the ancient temple in Jerusalem. For Hanukkah, the lamp has 8 main lights, one for each night of the holiday, plus a 9th light called the shamash. That word is usually translated as helper or attendant, and on this piece you can see the idea immediately. The center candle holder is raised above the others, so it is set apart. That raised helper light matters because the shamash is the candle used to light the other 8. It is not just extra decoration. It is part of the ritual logic of the object. The 8 lights connect back to Hanukkah's story of rededication. In the 2nd century BCE, the Maccabees reclaimed and rededicated the temple in Jerusalem. Later Jewish tradition placed the miracle of oil at the center of the holiday, one day's supply lasting 8 days, long enough for new oil to be prepared. That is why the holiday became known so strongly as the Festival of Lights. So when you see those 8 even cups across the top, plus the raised 9th cup, you are looking at a small household version of a very old memory. Light added night by night, one flame at a time. Now look at the middle of this piece, the Star of David. It feels ancient. It feels like it must have always been the central Jewish symbol, but the history is more complicated. The 6-pointed star, or hexagram, appears in many cultures and settings before it becomes the familiar Jewish emblem we know today. Scholars and museum sources are careful about this. It was used as decoration, as a protective sign, and in different religious and cultural worlds. It was not always an exclusively Jewish symbol. One important turning point was medieval and early modern Prague, where Jewish community identity and the 6-pointed star became linked in a more official public way. From there, the symbol's Jewish use spread. By the 19th and 20th centuries, it had become one of the most recognizable signs of Jewish identity. That makes this modest chrome-plated menorah interesting. It is not a museum treasure made of precious metal. The underside is stamped SUCOMA Products CO, chrome plate NY, but the exact date is not confirmed. It appears to be a practical vintage American Judaica piece, made for a home, a shelf, a table, and actual candles. And the evidence of use is still there. The candle cups show wax residue. The base has tarnish, wear, and greenish residue underneath. Those details are not flaws in the story. They are part of the story. This was an object meant to be handled, set out, cleaned imperfectly, stored away, brought back out, and lit again. That is why a small storage unit find can be more than just decor. The design tells you how Hanukkah is lit. The raised shamash tells you how the candles relate to each other. The 8 cups point back to rededication and the oil tradition. And the Star of David shows how symbols move through time, from geometry and decoration into identity, memory, and everyday home ritual. Sometimes the most educational objects are not the rarest ones. Sometimes they are the ones that sat on a family table, gathered a little wax, picked up a little tarnish, and quietly carried centuries of meaning in a shape small enough to hold in your hands.